Okay, guys, sorry I'm late. Just I've just had a visitor. That's all. Who sat with me for a few minutes. So, as you can see, I've taken a couple of trades already. It's all right. I nearly didn't trade actually, but we just had a family member turn up the last minute. Can everybody hear me? Okay, it's okay. I just missed something a minute ago. Let me just get this Discord open. Just bear with me 1 second. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? There we go. Have a look. So what I'm going to do is switch over onto a demo. So Dr. Linney, how you doing? Okay, so we had this sort of leg, and then we obviously had the news, quick spike up and a drop down. We had a push up, we had a small break and a new high. Then we had a first entry, second entry failure. I like that. I reckon there'll be some traders going along there, so I put an order in there, and I was trying to hold it for a couple of legs, and I got out at 3.25 points, which was about here. Sorry about that. And then obviously we went a bit sideways, and I expected after this it was like a couple of legs down to push up. So we had a higher low. I like that. It was a nice tight channel. Thanks, mate. I appreciate that. Nice tight channel. So I held on there. I expected that to get up here somewhere, but I didn't want to be... Excuse me, just a second. Sorry about that. So that's been the best morning I've had for a long while, to be honest with you. That looked really nice. We went a bit sideways. We had that one. I had that drawn, but I got rid of it. Yeah, I thought they were okay. Actually, it's not often we get two good trades. But I had a friend just come round, and he sat up with me a minute and was just watching what I was doing, so I just held on with the strain. I was looking at this. I nearly took that one, the failed breakout, but I thought, no, just leave it because it's a very small range. And then we had a first entry, then we had sort of a failure or a high-low, but it was a nice that I expected that to get up at least to these highs. What I'm trying to do is hold a little bit if I think we're going to get a bit of movement, and I had that. I got rid of it because it was a bit, we sort of had that down. Whether it was there or there, I think I had it like that. So I was going to hold a bit longer, but once it got down here, I thought, just get out, get your points. You've got a large trend channel up, have you? This one here. Yeah, it might be. Let me have a look. But I'm just trying to hold on a little bit. Obviously, we had a small break, and then we had a failure. There was a nice bullish bar there. Now, I think after that push-up, there have been quite a few guys going along there, so it came down. And I got out around about down here. I was going to hold a bit longer. I thought we may get some further down. And then when we had that, we had sort of a couple of legs up. Then we went sideways, and I was thinking upwards. And once it started to go in that tight channel, I wouldn't normally get in there so far from the EMA, but we've just left the EMA and it came down and pushed up strong. So I kind of like that one. You took the same as the second one for 19 ticks, yeah. Someone said they may have a large channel. What, from down here somewhere? Let's try it. Tell you what, let's touch. Sometimes if you touch these bottoms, it makes things a bit easier. Possibly, yeah. I don't. Does it go any further? I'm not sure. Yeah, possibly. In all fairness, this is the best day I've had for flipping a couple of months, I think. I just needed a good run, to be honest with you. What I'm probably going to do is switch on to a sim. In fact, I'm going to. Let's switch over to a sim. Yeah, I want to keep what I've got there. I'm up 6.5 points. It's been a while since I've been up that much, so awesome start. Yeah, exactly. Simming up. Yeah, I mean, what I've said now is I'm going to do 2 maximum trades a day. 2 period. So on a very bad day, 2 losses will be the max. Now, it's not often you get 2 losses in a row. But I am doing these trader affirmations before. I'm getting to my chart now. I'm having a proper trading plan now. I'm getting to my chart nice and early, about an hour early before we go to the market. But then obviously I had a friend just turn up out the blue, so I was sort of sat chatting with him. I was in that at the time, and then that went, and I was sat chatting, and then I saw that one, and he sat and watched. But he's just disappeared and let me get on with it now. But I'm having a proper trading plan, so I'm planning on what I'm going to do today. I'm going to go through what I'm going to do every day, a little bit of breathing, and just some trader affirmations. I find they're really good, actually. They sort of psych you up in a way, just get you prepared for it. And I've been doing a little bit of sort of studying about psychology more, just trying to get my head around accepting what happens. Now, I think I've been doing it long enough now, and I've got enough skills to be able to build an account. Yes, I still make mistakes from time to time, and I still take poor trades, but the more I trade, every month goes by and every year goes by, they'll hopefully get less and less, and I'll fine tune out the crap, basically. Filter the crap and go for better points. So my biggest problem at the moment is accepting losses. Now, if I can get round to that, then I should be okay. I should be able to grow and build. And I'm also just sticking to this one account, no more. I don't see the point. For me personally, I've got to earn my right to get more accounts. If I can't get one and build one single account, then what right have I got of getting more, really? That's for me personally. Everyone's got their own way of doing things. But if I can get the plan is to get it to $5,000, to get an account to $5,000, and then try and keep that, and then whatever I get on top of that over a month, I can say, there's my wages for the month. So, if I can average even, whatever I can earn. I'm trying not to focus too much on the money either. I'm just focusing on the, because at the end of the day, all I'm risking here is $140 for the account fees and $15 for the evaluation. So I'm only really risking $155 of my own money at the moment. So I'm trying to focus on that and not focus on this amount. I have 60% win this week, but 2K losses happen. Yeah, it's very, very hard to stick to something. Once those emotions kick in, it's very hard to control them. Exponential, how you doing, bud? News in 5 year. We did have some news earlier, which was a quick spike, but I'm on a sim now. I've moved on to a sim after these. I have said I'm doing 2 maximum trades a day, come win, lose, whatever, and I'm leaving it at that. So let's just pop that up there a little bit. So as I say, this is the best day I've had for a long while, in all fairness. It's not often I've got 2 trades. I like that one because it was a failure, and there's a big bullish bar there. We got a little channel break. So for me, they're definitely going to be traders going along there. So when that sort of came, I put it down below there, and I thought, for me, it was a worthwhile trade. It was a failure. And it's always better when you trap along there as well. It pushed up a bit, came back down, and then we had this. I very nearly took that as well. But I just thought, how far have we got, before we hit this? So I left that one, and it would have done all right, that one. It certainly would have made a couple of points, I think. Yeah, comfortably. Yeah, I very nearly took that one. But after this... Sorry, we've got people visiting that. After we had the... Excuse me a second, I'm just going to kill my dog. Sorry about that. I wasn't really going to get him, by the way. That's my little lad, Wilson. He usually sits near me feet every day I trade. So yeah, I nearly took that one. But when you just take one, and I was quite pleased about that. So I thought, don't jump straight back in. Not just that, we'd had sort of a break, out of this, and I didn't know whether we were going to actually go down and make a new leg down or not. But there you go. But that I really liked. Normally that would be too far away from the EMA for me, but it was quite a nice tight channel, and they're usually quite reliable. I much prefer, once these tight channels start to go, they go really well. Another nice tight channel there. And it was a failure as well. We got a first entry and it was a failure. And we've literally, normally when we have a lot of this, depending on where we're going, we'll break out of one side and then push straight up. So sometimes maybe with that one, if people think we're coming down, we've had a break, 2 pushes up, we're coming down. That looked like it trapped a few shorts maybe, and then obviously that one pushed straight up above it, so that was a good one for me. But it's been a while since I've had 2 quick trades like that. So I was really pleased there. FZen, how you doing, bud? How you doing? Good morning from Alberta. I'm guessing Alberta's cold at the moment. It's pretty choppy over here at the moment in the UK. Mind you, 9 degrees centigrade. That's probably warm for Alberta, isn't it, I think? So it does look like we've got a channel here. We've got touch. Yeah, I mean, it's safe to say that is. We've got a touch here. You can even bring that down there a bit, really. Touch. So we've got a break here. So I never take that first break anymore. I always wait for the high or low. And have you got snow as well? Yeah, we did have snow about a week ago. We had not much. We had about maybe 3 inches, but then we had rain after, and it just killed it quickly. So I kind of like a bit of snow. I do. I like it at Christmas. It just lights the place up, doesn't it? Makes it look a bit Christmassy. So what I'm probably going to do, what time is it now? It's 3 o'clock. I'm probably going to trade for another hour, actually, because it's still worth having some screen time. Wow. There goes the news. So that was that the jobs? See, do you know the weird thing is, you see that spike down like that, yeah? First, it spiked up, and then it spiked down. So it doesn't matter where the hell you're in a trade there, even if it's good news or bad news, it seems to kill you both sides, doesn't it? Obviously, that was different. That just rocketed straight up from here. I know a lot of people now. Well, there's a few guys I speak to that when they take evaluations, when they're cheap, they take 2. So if they got the news here, they'll sell one of them for 6.25 points, and they'll buy one of them for 6.25 points. Now, if you'd have gone long there at 6.25 points, you'd have passed about here, and you'd have lost one. But it's a 50-50, seems to be a 50-50. So I know a couple of people who do that. Just to pass the whatsits quickly to get them done. But so, what are we doing? It works whether has news or not. It works whether news. What do you mean, just buying or selling? The only thing that I think about is if it goes up 3 points, yeah. If it goes up 4 points. Excuse me a second. Love you, bye. Sorry about that. Doors, wife going out. Let me think. The only thing I think about is if it goes up 4 points and then comes back 3, well, doesn't that not work? If it goes up 4, comes back 3, there's 7 points between the high and the low, isn't there? Or does it work anyway? Don't matter whether it hits 6 points up or down, it will pass one way or the other. So why don't more people do that then? I can't tell you how many I've just gone silly at and tried to, gone max contracts. When they're cheap, really, no idea. You'd think they would. So really, if evaluations are like $15, you pay $30, you're guaranteed to pass one of them. Doesn't that make more sense? One ratio on replicanto to catch a reversal. Not sure. It works better during the news, yeah. See that one there with a spike up, it went over 6 points. So from there, if you'd have gone long there and short there, obviously the long would have worked. But yeah, so it would have worked. Same again, long or short there. So you'd have passed one of them. And I know it's... hey, Rodin, how you doing? I know it's not the sort of the most... What's the word? The I don't know... I suppose you can say it's not the most morally correct way of doing it, you know, but what I like to do, you know, I get why people go, oh no, I'll just trade 2 contracts over a month. If I want to get an account up and running, I'd rather get it passed in 7 days because you can start potentially earning money. So I get that. Yeah, you know, I think sometimes I like to just get the evaluations done and then just focus on the PAs. But obviously, you know, but yeah, I noticed a few people are talking about it, and I just wonder whether Apex will bring something in or not. Mind you, having said that, if people are taking gambles like that, Apex may think, well, they're going to pay us $140 for a one-off payment fee for a PA and then blow that, so we're going to be better off anyway. So, you know, Apex may think like that. Anyway, so we've had a break and a new high. So, obviously, there's some slightly positive news, and that was consumer sentiment. Okay. So, I see, I heard that the jobs were as expected or less. Was it unemployment, wasn't it? Unemployment rate. Yeah. Do you know, sometimes we'll see this, so it shot up, shot back and recovered. A lot of the times, depending like this, some types of news, that just shot up. It didn't come back. So whenever we get news that does that, it tends to just carry on up or down, depending on what it's doing at the time. They don't care if you do that, have no chances of getting to pay. Yeah, exactly. They make money, yeah. I mean, if they're thinking people are going to take gambles like that, then people may take gambles with a, you know. I mean, it's probably good for them. You pay $140 to, you know, as a one-off fee and fail it. They make better money, I suppose, don't they? But I'm just trying to focus on the one now. And just build the one up. I think it's a bit less stressful, and then if you can get that up to 5,000, then maybe build another up or a couple more and something like that, I think. So we've got a leg up there, sort of a couple of legs back, and a higher low there. Oh, it's a failure actually. Why I like that, I mean, I'm on a sim anyway. Why I like that, because it's triggered that, what's it, but we're going into the highs, aren't we? So, I would guess that would probably work for 2 points. Now, you may say, I mean, you might take it anyway and you're on a sim. Doesn't really matter, but I think you've still got to try and trade it the same, otherwise it's sort of, it's counterproductive really, isn't it? So we got a push up, we sort of a pull back to the EMA, an attempt high and a failure. I wouldn't take that on a PA account anyway, so I shouldn't really take it on, but I'm guessing that would probably work. We've had an overshoot and a new high, but that's pretty good news, so I'd probably expect that to work at least up here anyway, but okay, so that would have made 2 points. I mean, there is a channel up here, but I think after that news, it's pretty redundant anyway, isn't it? So that would have worked comfortably for 2 points. And the reason I like it is we've got a bearish bar there that's triggered and that's pushed up. So there's a fair chance that's going to push above there. And that would, if it does push above there, that will get you at least a point anyway. Having said that, I wouldn't take that on a PA account, although I think it's going to go up, and it probably is. So measured move is a you're about from here. Yeah, isn't it weird? You see this and you think, how the hell can that be a measured move? But yeah, it's weird, isn't it? You naturally think, because this is a lot bigger, obviously it's not as steep, is it? So, I mean, ultimately, let's bring that down to there. So, yeah, absolutely. That could probably about there. Yeah, one tick away. I'm just wondering now whether we may get a bigger channel up here. Let's have a look. Let's take it from there. Maybe not. I don't know. Quite possibly. I don't know. You know, I'm usually pretty good with channels, but sometimes we get some of these channels. It's the news that throws it, isn't it? Let's just put that down like that. Let's put that like that. And we can up that a bit there till it fits pretty good. So there's a break, but obviously positive news. Normally with a break, well, we just continued up really. So I think that's probably right, actually. That's probably valid. It's a break, but obviously with the news. I mean, normally when you have a break, you make a new high, and then you could come down or continue up. But obviously with that, it's looking relatively positive news. I think it's about 10 points. 10 points pretty quickly, isn't it? 12 points. Chad just made the measured move in a sec. Yeah, it's. I didn't even think about that because visually it doesn't look right, does it? But obviously that's obviously way steeper. But you just think, how the hell can that be a measured move? But it clearly is. So yeah, measured move made. So are we still just really going sideways, aren't we? Don't know if anybody's got money in crypto. At the moment, things are really starting to look good, aren't they? I just made about £200 just in Cardano this morning. That's pumping lovely, that is now. That's really starting. Solana's really the one that's had the decent pump. Mind you, Solana, bloody hell, look at that. It's up nearly 14% just today. Do you know what? I had 30 Solana not so long ago, and I sold them. I bought them at $18 and sold them at about 25. ADA. I've got about, how much have I got in ADA? About £800 and £900 now. It's gone up 21% just today. I'll tell you what, if you haven't got crypto, now's the time to start getting into, especially things like ADA, maybe Ethereum. I will probably wait a bit with Solana. On Polkadot, really, yeah. I've got some Gala as well. I have, and some HBAR. What's HBAR doing? HBAR's up 5% today. Gala, I'm guessing Gala's not doing a lot at the moment, but I think I've got about £300 or £400 in Gala. Let's have a look. Where are you? Gala. That's down 0.5%. Yeah, it hasn't really done much that at the moment, but I'll tell you what, if I had a bit more money, I'd be sticking some in ADA. You know, a lot of people say ADA should get to at least $3. That's 600% from where it is now. Everything's moving. Bitcoin's at just under 44,000. I mean, Solana, I sold my Solana at $25 about 2.5 months ago. It's at $73 now. It did go down to 15. In fact, no, it went down to 8, I think. At one point, there was some bad news, if I remember rightly, on one of the, I think it was one of the exchanges or something. It dropped down. I think it was $8. He bought 36. For 200 or at 200. I got to say, I bought one or two at $158 about a year or so ago. I thought that was cheap because they were up about 260, but I wish I'd have held mine on now. I really do. But I still heard people like Gareth Soloway saying, "Oh, I don't think the bull market started yet. I think we could get down to $14,000 Bitcoin." So I just made a bit of money on them and that. But well, what do you do? What do you do? There's no guarantees, is there? But obviously, we know there's cycles within the crypto, and I think it all boils down to the Bitcoin halving, doesn't it? So I mean, if I had some spare money now, I've got about, not a lot, I've probably got $1.5 grand in crypto total, maybe a little bit more. I've got a couple of ones that I think Shiryu and Saitama, they're worth a bit of money a year or so ago, but not so much now. But I've just left them in. I've left them in a wallet, in a hot wallet somewhere. I don't know. I got bits anyway, but now's the time to get into them for sure. Now, things like XRP, ADA. I'd probably wait a bit much for Solana to have a bit of a pullback, because Solana's gone up about 400%, isn't it, the last couple of 3 months? But yeah, Polkadot, maybe some HBAR as well, maybe a couple of the gaming tokens. They're all going to start pumping. Maybe even things like, I mean, I don't know what Doge does much, but people seem to like it in Shiba Inu as well. Tends to do all right, although it's, I don't know what they do now really, but probably till half. Yeah, I mean, it's weird how we have these cycles, isn't it? It's not often you can almost guarantee something's going to go up, but you just never know if we end up getting another sort of COVID thing. I said to my wife, I mean, we've got bits of savings stuck somewhere, and my wife, and you try putting a bit more in or whatever, but the trouble is, you don't know what's going to happen to you around the corner. I like to put a bit in, but not ridiculous amounts, but you never know. Or all of it. It's all good and well. This is going to happen, and it more more likely is. But you never know if you end up getting something like another COVID again. And there are rumours around that there's this bug and this. You just don't know, do you? I mean, if that happens, that could kill the whole thing, couldn't it? But nothing's guaranteed. But if you've got a bit of spare money, $1,000 or 500 or something, I'd be putting that in for sure. Definitely. Yeah, there's always risk with it. But if you've got a bit of spare money, I mean, even a few £100 or a few $100 or $500, you most of these things like ADA, you would expect to at least triple your money, at least. But I hear people, a lot of these sort of bigger sort of crypto guys reckon, things like ADA should at least $3. I mean, even if they get back to all-time highs is $3. So if you've got even £500, you can times that by 5 or 6. You're never going to make stuff like that anywhere else. It's never going to be sitting in a bank or anything. You got 5 ETH. Have you really? I think ETH will do really well. A lot of people say ETH will take over from Bitcoin, don't they? I would expect, well, by the end of this bull market to see what I've heard a lot of people say they could see a $10,000 ETH by the end of the bull market. Who knows? But I think if you've got money in ETH, it's probably more useful than Bitcoin, really, Ethereum, isn't it? But a lot of people say Solana's very much like Ethereum, so, But yeah, if you got some ETH, I mean, really, if you were a young lad now, a young 18-year-old, and you could maybe buy a couple of ETH and stick them in a coal wallet for the next 25, 30 years, you would have one hell of a pension, wouldn't you? You mined them, did you? I looked into mining, but then electric went up. And that's why you can buy GPUs now for, half the price of what they used to be. I mean, really, GPUs went mega expensive because, all the miners were snapping them up. But now I think we're paying it's about 30 pence per kilowatt in the UK at the moment, per hour per kilowatt. There's no money to be made in them. You can't make money. It's not worth it, is it? So the trouble is then, they've got all these GPUs on the market and no one to buy them, so... So yeah, the price has dropped them. Ethereum was 4. Yeah, I think it went up. It was about 4,800 its highest last time. I think Bitcoin was around 66, 68,000, wasn't it? 260 was, I think, Solana. But yeah, there's definitely money to be made in crypto. As long as you got a... When I bought a lot last time, I didn't know enough about it, and I came in more or less close to the high, which is probably quite a common mistake, isn't it? But I've studied a little bit more now and read up a little bit more about how it works. But if you know what you're doing, at the same time you put $3,000 into... Oh, you didn't, did you? I remember that one went down. When did it go down? About 5-6 months ago? Something like that. Yeah, I was chatting with a guy who had about $50,000 in Luna when it went down. There's another Luna, isn't there? Luna Classic now, is it? But I think when one's got down, Luna for me has just got a scary name. Yeah. Yeah, the trouble is, so many people. See, I haven't got mine on a cold wallet, or I've got mine, or some of it in. What's it called? What's it called? It's the little fox thing, isn't it? It's my. Sorry about that. It's in me Google Chrome. Where is it? MetaMask. Yeah, sorry, I've got mine. I've got some in MetaMask. And I've got some Saitama in that's in a wallet somewhere as well. I mean, ADA's up 21.5% just today. MetaMask, yeah, that's unbelievable, isn't it? How can you make 20% in a day, 22% in a day? See, ADA really hasn't even had its push yet. Even Solana, that's gone up like 400%. That's still up 13.5% just today. Unreal, really, isn't it? How they go, cryptos. Unbelievable. Baby Squid. Wasn't there a crypto called Baby Squid? I'm sure there was. Something Squid. I don't know. Squid rings a bell. Do you know what I'm thinking now? I'm looking at the daily here. We've been going sideways for a bit, but we're out the top now. We had a really nice looking signal bar and we've pushed above this now, so I'd expect a bit more, maybe a pullback a bit, and so we could get some upward stuff. Do you know what? I think this might even go up at a steeper angle now. It was yeah, that's right. Yeah, there was a few rug pulls, they call them. There was a few of them, wasn't there? I kind of like that because it looks like a two-tiered channel and it's working on the underside of that midline really nice. Yeah, it was, wasn't it? There's been a few scams, isn't there? I got to say, it must be... I think it's good to diversify, isn't it? Use maybe 2 or 3 different... See, I tend to use Kraken, I like, in the UK. It's better in the UK. I used to use Bybit, but then there's been an issue with UK and the banks. I don't know, but I used to do a little bit of trading, just a little bit of swing trading, but more just spot trading. If it went down 10 or 12% for a day, I used to buy a bit. But Kraken I use, Crypto.com a little bit. In fact, I've still got some money in Crypto.com. I got one of those ruby red cards. I put £300 in a year or so ago. But yeah, it's good to use a few as well. But even ideally, cold wallets ideally. But if you've got a lot, if I've got anything more than 3,000 or 4,000, I think I'd have them in a cold wallet. I think. You use Binance for altcoins, do you? Yeah. Yes, you're US, aren't you? It's different over in the UK. I don't think we can use Binance anymore. I don't know. How do you withdraw crypto? US bank. Well, I can withdraw it straight to my bank from Kraken, and it's in within the same day. And I also have a Revolut card as well. Oh, you're Ireland. Ah, right. Yeah. I got Revolut as well, and I can buy them on Revolut, but you've got to pay about, I think it's about 1.5%, which is not huge, but I can buy them and sell them in seconds there, so it's got that convenience. But yeah, Kraken I like. It's really cheap. It's easy to trade on there. You know, it's an easy platform to use, and I can withdraw out. It's in my bank within an hour. So yeah, Kraken's good for UK. But the trouble is I had money in Bybit in the past and just haven't been able to withdraw it. You know, you've got to move it around. You've got to send it over from one account from one exchange to another exchange. And it's just a bit of a ball ache, but I kind of like Kraken. So we got a little channel down. I'm going to break in a new low. Let's see what happens. Yeah, it is annoying. I wish they'd make you can understand why there's still a lot of the population that don't use crypto, because it's confusing. You know, sending one crypto from one place to another place isn't straightforward. It's not simple. So, you know, maybe some of the older population are going to struggle. You know, sending them from one address to another. It's not, you know, if you mess up, it can be really costly, and then obviously things can go down. Obviously, it's not really, it's not properly regulated, really, isn't it? And I suppose that's one of the attractive things about it. But I think it's inevitable. It's going to have some sort of regulation. It's got to, because people are losing too much money, I think, and the less regulated it is, the less, you know, tax people are paying. You know what I mean? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I had rumours. I remember seeing that guy a few years ago searching through bins. He got some Bitcoin on an old hard drive somewhere, and it was worth X amount of millions or something, and he was rooting through skips or tips, you know, rubbish tips, trying to find it. Yeah. I'm hoping, because banks are going to start to lose out, aren't they? Because people are putting money more into things like cryptos and stocks. I think banks are going to have to pull the finger out and do some more attractive offers. And I have heard rumours that some banks are looking into storing cryptos. You know, maybe you know, that takes it's sort of like in a hot wallet, but they're responsible for it, just like your money, really. You know, I know over here in the UK, I think you're insured up to about £85,000, that if something should happen, you know, the government will step in. So I think banks are probably looking into doing something like that. Otherwise, banks are going to miss out, because the banking system, in all fairness, is the biggest con known to man. You know, we put all our money in there. They give us nothing for it. I mean, obviously, recently, you know, prices gone up, but you'd be lucky to get 0.5%. And they're taking your money, buying nice, fancy, plush offices with it, investing it, trading it, making a fortune, and you get nothing. So people are stepping away from banks now. Most of my banking now is done with Revolut. I get much more, you know, I can exchange currency free of charge. There's all sorts of stuff I can do, like, you know, 1%. Stuff that you can't do in the bank. It's all done quick. So we've had a bit of a break here, so I'm not sure what's going on here, but that was the news. So what I'm going to do is bring that down to here. Let's try it there, actually. Not sure about this. Trouble is, when you get a big spike like that, the news sort of it was there, wasn't it? So I'm not sure about that. Okay, so we've had a break, little channel down, breaking a new low. So let's see what goes on here. I'm on a sim now anyway. I've had a couple of good wins there, so switched over to a sim. Yeah, seed phrase is another one, isn't it? You can buy those, like dog tags, military dog tags, where you can stamp them in yourself, can't you? I've got mine written down in a little book, just for a couple. I've only got a couple, a little bit in MetaMask and what's the wallet? I've got another cool wallet somewhere. The Saitama one, isn't it? What's it called? Seta Pro. Yeah, if you lose your seed, yeah. The trouble is, you have got to be a little bit secure. Your money's got some safety to a degree, but crypto, if you know what you're doing, you can pretty much lose it all, can't you? But yeah, I think they need to make crypto a little bit easier to get into. Yeah, it is easier with places like eToro. It's a lot more straightforward. It's a lot clearer, but obviously you're paying a bigger spread and you're paying the fees as well, so they charge you for it. But I think banks need to start looking in, because I think people got to realise crypto's the future now. They've been trying to dodge it for years. Even sort of institutions are coming on board now, but I think crypto's the future. Cash isn't going to exist in time, is it? I don't carry cash anymore, really. Everything's on sort of cards, or, I have everything on my phone, really. I tend to pay for everything on my phone. But cryptos are the future now. There's no other way of looking at it, really, is it? Everything's digital now. I mean, I think the overall's probably something like that, really, isn't it? The bigger picture, we touch there. At some point it may get up here, but so it does look like on the daily we're out of this little bit of sideways. We were in this downtrend, weren't we? Oh shit! Wait, that one. Where is it? No. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? I've got 3 charts. Oh, yeah. Okay, so we were in this downtrend, weren't we? For quite a while. And then we had that overshoot. Then we trapped them shorts. Then we pushed up. We've been going sideways for the last week or so. Something like that. Somewhere on about there. But it does seem like we may get above this now. We've sort of pushed up. We've hit this a few times. We've got a nice strong bullish bar there, and we broke above this now. So I'd expect now maybe. How you doing, bud? To have some sort of upward stuff over the coming days or week or whatever, maybe. How you doing, Osam? I'm struggling with this market. 1k away from blowing my PA. Yeah, been there. I think I've no choice but to stop till next year. Mate, just the fact that you're saying that's a good sign. Most people are down. They'd find that hard to. I would as well, to be fair. But the fact that you're even thinking like that's a good sign. Healthy Code, how you doing, bud? Good morning. What made you take that failed second entry? That one there. I liked it because we had a push up and we had first entry. So there was after a break and a new low, there was a bullish bar there. So I reckon there's going to be people going along there. But that news was quite negative. So after we recovered, I expected to come down. So we had a little channel down there. So we had a first entry and a failure, trapping that bull bar. I like that. You're worrying about this one. That was another failure. I like that one. We had a sort of a couple of legs up, gone a bit sideways. We come back, little bullish bar there. We went up again and we retested this line there. Started pushing into a tight channel and that was a failure. I like that. I don't usually take them that far from the EMA unless they're in a tight channel, because these tight channels like that really move well. Another tight channel. They move. They're quite reliable, those. So I like the fact that we've broken out there. We just come away. We've broken up, and then I was just worried because of the uptrend wasn't played out. I don't know how many times now we see up trades that don't play out, and if you look closely, we've had a bit of a break there. Do you know what I mean? It depends how you look at this. We've had a bit of a break and a new high. And when we're in this, and I'm thinking this, once it starts to come down, I don't know, I can tell, look at something now, and something I like it or I don't, and the bar, I don't know, I just liked it. It was a failure, but I like the way it trapped that, and then it's all right, mate, it's okay. But we pushed up. Technically, so we had a little break there, a new high, and then we went sideways, and then sort of there was a lower high there. Once that came down, if we were going to make a new high, I'd say this market will trap those shorts there down here and then push up, and it didn't do that. Normally, this market has got a way of wicking out weak positions, and that to me was a position that if it was weak enough, it would have triggered and pushed up, and it didn't. It came down and then pushed below. Then we had this push back up, and I just liked it. Okay, let's have a look. So let's see what happens here. Touch. You could even take that up a tiny fraction. Touch. I like what it's doing. Touch in there. Let's see what happens. So it may be something like that. In fact, I'm just going to kill that colour just until there. In fact, that one there, that bar there, was actually a full bearish bar. Right down to here, it was fully red. It only changed there when I reloaded my historic, so that actually looked a bit bearish when I took the trade that it did, and I like the way it closed below the EMA, and that to me looked like it was going to get trapped. That's another reason I took it. Do you know what? That might be a better option. I'm just trying to fit the tops in as well. No, maybe not. No, let's just remove that a minute. I didn't expect that. We had a sort of a channel, we had a break, and obviously the news pushed strong high, and then it just kept continuing up. And the ATR really came down, because around here the ATR was around about 3.5, and so let's say overnight highs are around about here. Let's put them down as the overnight highs. I'm still going to put that and just see if it does. Let's see if we got anything from Mac yet. What day is it? Thursday. Oh no, nothing yet. Nothing yet. Has anybody updated the that Apex trade copy? I had a couple of people yesterday on the Facebook group saying they had problems with it. Got to say, in my opinion, personally, I have had Apex, the original one, and I just, for me, it just works nice. Replicant, I've had no issues with it, none. But they've had this update or something. They've changed a few things. I kind of like what I heard, but then I had a couple of people saying they'd already had problems with it. So what do you do? I still use the original. Yeah, I still get people saying it works okay with them. It does sound like a car sometimes. You'll hear people saying, "Oh, Land Rovers, they're not reliable," and then you'll hear someone saying, "I've had one for the last 10 years. I've never had a problem with it." But yeah, sometimes it just works for some people. Now, where do you call the overnights? I've put the overnights there. Would you put them there, maybe? Because there's definitely some resistance around here, and we've just probably safe to say there's a small break there. Depends how you got this drawn, really. It's see, I like this. We've got a touch here, touch here, touch here, and it fits nice. Fits there, fits there, fits there. It visually looks okay. So it'll be interesting to see whether this continues on up. There was yesterday's highs, which we've obviously been up and past and through. Break and a new low, so possibly second entry short there, but it looks like it's bottoming here, so you just don't know. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. But I wouldn't go short here, me personally, after the break of this. If it is this, which I think it's likely, I expect it to go up. You're currently in a short, are you? Be interesting to see what happens here. I got a feeling that's going to get stopped out. It's too far from the EMA for me, and it's really a bit rangy as well there, so I'd say I'd expect that to get hit because it's a little bit too far from the EMA there. So if I put that there, one tick above there, and that stop's gone. Yeah, it is kind of a second entry, but it's a bit congested here, and it's not close enough for me. So, where'd you get in? Oh, some here somewhere, did you? Yeah, I'm not sure here really, see, because we got the overnights here, haven't we? So whether it will break lower, bounce off here and do something, but it's been really quite bullish up until that push down, so I just don't think that's close enough to that EMA for me to feel safe taking it really, because it's clearly congested there. So if you're going short there, you're only about 3 ticks from the bottom of this. I think that's a bit dangerous myself, but I'd expect that to get stopped out. 1, 2, 3. If we have 3 pushes though, that may be a triple test. We're coming down. Went up once, twice, 3 times. Bearish bar maybe, who knows. But I'd expect that to get stopped out. Yeah. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. One leg, two leg. If this comes bearish, I suppose you could look at that as a triple test. We're coming down, trying to go once, try to go twice, try to go 3 times. See if this comes down bearish. Trouble is, after this big up stuff, surely you would expect to, but maybe not.
Order submitted.
Let's see what happens here. Down break, new low. Once, twice. Okay. I'm on a sim anyway, so let's see how this finishes. It's broke below anyway. Come and get me.
Order filled.
I'm only doing this on a sim. So I like it. We've had 1, 2. It's a triple test, I think. I'm out comfortably before the lows. But I'll be surprised if that doesn't get there. We've had a breakdown. We had one attempt to go higher, second attempt to go higher, failure. It is 2 legs up. It's nice and tight under the EMA. You took a second. Yeah, I'm only on a sim anyway. I'm out comfortably before the lows, but you'd expect that to work. Really, first entry, second entry, it's a triple test. We've come down, we've gone once, twice, 3 times, we've pushed above all this, and then it's given us a pretty alright bearish bar, so you'd expect that to get down to the lows. In all fairness, would I have taken that on a PA? No. No, I wouldn't. Because of this and this. But I would think it would work. I'm just not confident enough because it's sideways because I generally don't pick tops and bottoms because I'm not very good at them. But they're a lot easier to pick when you're on a sim. So, but this market's got a habit of just being a bit mean. But yeah, I mean, you could say that is 1, 2, 3, a triple test. If that works and came down here, Mac would mark that for sure. And not only that, it's a second entry short. We got 1 leg up and 2 legs up. Perhaps it's just coming back a bit and it will work. I think it will work because it's clearly a triple test and it's a bearish bar and it's sitting right here. So surely that would work for at least a point. I'm in a couple of ticks. I've got it on a limit order, but and there's a lower high there, but we are still sideways, which makes it a bit more risky. But you can clearly see it's 2 legs up. It's pretty bearish. But I think if this came down here, Mac would mark that 100%. But if it fails, he won't mark it. But you see what I'm saying? This market's a bit frustrating. The reason I wouldn't take it because we've got a big uptrend and a break, and I wouldn't be looking for shorts. I just took it as I'm on a sim. Got 6 ticks. Yeah, I think you're good to get out there, mate. To be fair, but like it didn't do much, did it? That's why I wouldn't take it personally on a PA account because we've had this big uptrend and a break, barely got out. Yeah. I get why people would take it, but the reason I wouldn't take it is because of this uptrend. But ordinarily, you would think that would be a good setup. We come down, we made 1 attempt to go higher, second attempt to go, third attempt to go higher, broke above this, dropped down, 1 tick off nice and bearish, and it's a second entry short. And it's a sort of a failure, but you'd expect that to work, wouldn't you? But the reason I don't think it did is because you've had this big uptrend and a break, and you'd ordinarily expect to push up. But the market's got a way of. I bet there'll be a few traders got trapped there. I bet you. Bet there will be. Yeah, see, what I'll say, I mean, really, we got a leg down here. We had one attempt to go higher, and they're all sitting perfectly on that line. So we got one attempt to go higher, second attempt to go up, three clear touches. You would at least expect that to get down to the bottom. I'm surprised it didn't, and the only reason I didn't take it is because of this big uptrend, and we've got a break. So what happens after a break? You normally get a retest of the highs, which is why I wouldn't get into a short there. Having said that, I would still expected that to at least got down to the bottoms. So I'm quite surprised, but I bet there'll be a lot of people who got caught out there. So market's got a way of being really frustrating. Those are also sat on the fib level. Got you. By the tick, it was actually a third entry. Let's have a look. Yeah, it was. First entry, second entry. Yeah, it was. But what I mean, it was like a visual 2 legs up, wasn't it? Yuli and Mac talk about visually, and it was, in all fairness, it was a kind of a nice looking visual 1 leg, 2 legs up, and a bearish bar. But I thought most of all it was one attempt to go higher, second attempt to go. It was a triple test. It clearly tested that line beautifully. Now, what I will say, another reason it might not, because Mac might have had it like that, where we've had a break, and so there's a bunch of reasons I think that didn't work. But the reason I wouldn't have taken, now I took it on a sim because sim's a sim, isn't it? But I wouldn't have taken it on a PA purely and simply because we've got a big strong trend and a break, and what happens after a trend and a break? You've got to make a new high. So I think that's partially why that didn't work. But I am still surprised it didn't at least come down to the bottom. I bet there will be some traders who got stung there. But yeah, I don't know where you guys are call the overnight highs. Would you say that they are there or what? Possibly. I don't know. What's it calls them in a different place, doesn't he? What's his name? Overnight highs. Who calls the overnight highs? Usually around about there. So would you have called them there? If you'd have called them there, you'd have been going into them anyway. So it's another reason not to take it, I suppose. And there wasn't, unfortunately. First, there was a failure there. You could have said that was a higher low, but you just don't know, do you? So you can't really take it until we get above here, and then it just goes, doesn't it? There's nothing. There's no stopping it then, unfortunately. Oh, something's frozen. Hey Sam, how you doing? I'm just gonna have to shut this down a minute. Something's just frozen on here. Bear with me 1 second. No, it hasn't. Okay, we're good. Sorry. My what's it opened up here? That's fine. How you doing, Sam? You all right, bud? That's what I wanted to change the colour there. Thanks, mate. I needed them. Yeah, I took that one because there'll be some longs trapped there, thinking they're going to push up after this. So that worked nice. And you know, when you get it, you think, oh, brilliant. And then I saw that one. I was umming and ahhing. Do I? Don't I? Do I? But then we pushed up. We had a couple of legs. We come back here. We gone up. We gone side. We come back here once, twice, and it looks like it's working off there, doesn't it? And then we get a good strong push up and a little pullback. So for me, that's worth taking every day. That is, I really like them type of trades. And it was going into a tight channel, so I'm pleased about that. It's been a while since I've had 6.5 points up in a day, so I decided to go straight into a sim. To be honest with you, mate, yeah, I mean, usually I try to go for a few more points. And I had a leg down here, and I had another leg down to about here, and I came out and about here. I ummed and ahed a bit, but then you just think, oh, you know, what do you do? What do you do? Same again with that one. We were getting above these eyes. But you know, sometimes we get so many points. What I'll find is sometimes when I go for 2 points, it makes a lot more. Then sometimes when I hold on, it stops me out. So it's just one of them things, isn't it? 3 losses in a trot. Yeah, it happens sometimes, mate. And it messes with your head, doesn't it? I don't know what you do, mate, but I've started listening to trader affirmations. You know, people telling you that you're the bee's knees and all this, and I tend to watch that Asian guy. What's his name? Sheriff. He talks a lot about the problems he's had, and he does it right now. That's the guy there. I'll drag it in quickly.
Now, I know a lot of people hate the concept of journaling when it comes to trading, but I promise you that I look at how aggressive buying for selling. I look at how aggressive buying for selling is changing its key levels. We go from aggressive selling, we go from a negative 7K delta to no change, no massive change after we hit a key level. Another key.
He's got a video where he says he used to come back late after he'd finished the day and say, I wasn't going to take a trade, I'd just watch, and then your mind starts to make up things, and then he'd be in a trade, and then he'd be down for losing money for his days. So he's been for it, so I kind of like him. And I've started watching him a bit before I trade. You know, when he talks about losses and stuff. And what I'm trying to think about is all I've actually invested into this one PA account is $140 for the fees and $15 for the evaluation. So really $155. So if I risk, say, 2.5 points, I'm risking 1/10 of my drawdown, so I'm only risking 1/10 of my $155. So really, it's only really costing me, or I'm risking $15, if you think about it. So I'm trying to just forget about the fact of losing. Now, I'm not sure how you feel about it, but I can categorically say I have never lost a PA account from trading proper trades. I've lost them from revenge trading or doing something stupid, but taking genuine trades, I've never lost enough to blow an account, which tells you that if you can just manage to sort of walk away or stay out of that stuff when things go wrong, you'll make it as a trader. So I'm really trying to focus and not trying to think about, forget the money. And I think it's helping me a little bit by just doing the one account, because once you start bumping up the accounts, it just... it adds more risk and there's more things to think about. And I think personally, I'd rather focus on one, slowly build one up to maybe 5,000, and then I can maybe take a wage, whatever I earn on top of that per month, and then maybe start to build others. But that's my plan anyway. But I feel like I keep hitting the wall when I get a couple of trades away. I think what you've got to do, mate, you've got to keep battling through it. Just keep trying to take normal trades again. And I think what you'll find is you'll get to it and then you'll slip back a bit and then you go on tilt and then you blow it. Whereas if you keep just trying, you'll slowly grind over the line, and I think you will. You will get there. It's just that psychological little barrier you're hitting because you know you're getting close to a payment. But yeah, try and just forget about, because you've got a full-time job, haven't you? Try and just forget about the money, because you don't need the money. And if you can forget about it and just concentrate on just trading the process, you'll hit that target and then you'll get that payment. And then you'll feel on top of the moon. It's a great feeling to get your first one. I've had 1, 2, 3 or 4 now. 4, I think. I've had a 2,000, a 2,000, a 4,000 and a 2,000. But the trouble is, when you take them, the counts don't last long, but I didn't give a crap at the time. I just wanted my money. I hit barriers multiple times, getting the first PA, getting PA, past a month, getting payments. Until you get past the barriers, it's hard, yeah. I think that's, mate, where you got to really dig deep and not fall for that revenge trading, because that's the thing that does you in. And I know firsthand, mate, because I've done it many times, as you know. I had 3 accounts a week ago. And for me, it's taking a silly risk on one of the other accounts that messes up the rest of them, which is why now I'm just focusing on one. Once you pass that subconscious, yeah, you'll get there, mate. You may get close to that wall and slip a bit, but as long as you don't revenge trade, you will get past it. You got up to it, so you can clearly get there. Just try and keep the faith, just try and keep the process. Just sit there, wait for a trade, but try and just be extra really strict with your trades, and just wait for those, those really, you're about 450 off. Yeah, that's nothing, mate. That's 5 trades off. You'll piss that. What will stop you is revenge trading. So just try and forget about the money and just focus on the process. I know it seems odd. I know it seems a bit weird me telling you that when I fucked up many times. But I've been close to that level. In fact, I was lucky the first time I did it because I was about $300 behind and I had a $1,000 day, so I smashed through it with a bit of luck, in all fairness, if I look back. But yeah, I think it is because that you got that psychological barrier. You know it's coming, so just try and sort of potter through it. Don't. I think the simplest thing to do, the simplest answer is just don't revenge trade and you'll get there. If you take a trade and you get that urge to revenge trade, just get away from your computer, however you do it. I even said to my wife, if I'm not down by 5:45 now at night, come up and drag me by the hair, But once you get there, you'll have passed another hurdle, and that hurdle's important to get your first payment because you've actually, you can trade. I know you can trade. But we have these little sort of mental barriers, don't we? But try listen to some of those. That guy I really like. Just search trader affirmations, and you'll find someone you like. And when you got a professional trader telling you that he's been through the same, and do this, and so on, it does help. You'll get there, mate. It's a matter of time. I'll be surprised if we're not talking in a week's time, and you've applied for your first payment. And that'll be nice for Christmas. You can apply up to the 20th, can't you? So you got loads of time. It's the 8th today. You got loads of time. Loads of time. That'd be nice. What a nice Christmas present that will be. Yeah, just take your time, mate. It hurts even more if you get close and blow it. Simple answer is, as long as you don't revenge trade, you know you'll hit it. I know you'll hit it. You'll be all right. You'll be all right. Just don't revenge trade whatever you do and you'll be fine. Just look at my videos and just do the complete opposite. And you'll be all right. So I'm wondering now, we've had a break new high, come down. There's going to be there's some short traps there. So we haven't made a new high yet. So it'll be interesting to see what happens here. So we got a leg up break. Break new high. See, I'd still expect to make a new high from here. There is a failure there. It's actually in quite a nice place as well. I love it where it's hugging the underside. It's clearly a failure, and we have pushed up. But for me, the market's still bullish at the moment, so I can't think about taking shorts just at the moment. So we got a leg up, one attempt to go lower. Second, so this might be a penguin trade. We got one attempt to go. We got channel up. We got one attempt to go lower. Second attempt to go lower. I think this is going up. If this pushes above the EMA strongly, I'm going to take this. Only on a sim though. Leg down, push up. It is a leg up. One attempt to drop, second attempt to drop, and then up we go because there's quite a few shorts there to trap. That's unless it comes down, which you could do obviously. So that's come down nearly 2 points. Okay, so a little channel down, break new low. That's fine. So that's played out. I'm pleased about that. So leg. I still think this is going to... I'm still not looking for shorts at the moment. You're killing it today, man. 1,000 from you. No, not 1,000. 650 I got, but that was part of the last couple of days. But this is the best day I've had for a long time anyway. It's the first time I've had 2 trades in quick succession. Well, for flipping ages. You know what the markets have been like lately. I wonder. No, maybe not. I still think there's a good chance we're going to go higher because this to me is 2 legs down. If anybody wonders why it's looking different here, I've just moved over onto a sim, that's all. That's why it's red. I've hit me 2 trades for the day, so moving on to a sim. Big Guy Fry. You're a new face. Where are you from? I don't think you've been here before, have you? Where are you from, bud? Tell me it's somewhere warm. Oh, you lucky bugger. Florida. Oh, flipping freezing. UK. Oh, good on you, mate. Good on you. Oh, some people have all the luck, don't they? What is it at the moment? 9 degrees centigrade here and light rain. It's dull, horrible outside. Florida must be hot. You're going to tell me it's mild and it's about 25 degrees C, aren't you? Do you know, I think we've got this leg up. One attempt to go lower, second attempt to go lower. I still think we're going to push up at the moment. I'm not looking for shorts just yet. Let's just go from here. That's what I'm thinking. But that's bouncing off the top, it kind of is, isn't it? Yeah, in all fairness, if it was quite a big ass bar, that really, wasn't it? Let's have a look. Yeah, I mean, that failure was 4.25 points. Quite a big risk, that. If I would have taken that and 2 contracts, I'd have been risking $425 there, which is more than I would have wanted to risk. there is a bit of support along here. Some may call that the overnight high, so that might be an area to bounce. Or not. Just smash straight through the bottom of it. Let's see if it does. Maybe not. Wow. I thought we might get 2 legs down and then up and retest these highs, but maybe no. See, I would have thought that for me would have been the overnight highs, but it could be anywhere really, couldn't it? There. Strange. Let's see what Mac makes of this. I've got a funny. Isn't he? Is he working next week or is he finished now? Or has he got? No, I think he's got 1 more week. He said, didn't he? Yeah, I think he said he's got 1 more week. Let's see what he makes of this. Let's have a look. Okay, that's unusual. Mac's got his right from there to there. I'm not sure why he's put it. Yeah, Mac's got his from there to there. Strange. And that he's got sat on top of there. I don't understand how he works it somehow. Normally you go from these 2 swings, wouldn't you? But he's brought it out to that. Let's just get rid of that for a time being. He's got his there. And it's not touching there, it's touching there, so we got a break. So okay, so we got to break the new high. So that's why we're coming down then. See, if you don't get this right, we're expecting to go along there and we're coming down. So this may end up just being a big range day. Interesting to see if we get 2 pushes up here. Could just be a big range day, really. I wouldn't be surprised. See, the strange thing is, Mac's got that channel. Like that. Nah, something like that, isn't he? Oh no, he's got it there. Oh, bloody hate it when it does that. He's got his channel like that. So you understand why some people took that, really. It does visually look like 2 legs up. You'd expect that to come down. I'm going to say it'd be interesting if he mentions it, but he doesn't do it Fridays. Yeah, that's Mac's channel there. Sometimes he puts some strange looking channels that you wouldn't expect. That channel there, he's got it working, so you understand why some people may have taken that one. Bloody hell, ADA's gone up 26.5% just today. Cardano, unbelievable. 26% in a day. Unbelievable. God, it's frustrating. Should put some more money in it now. Yeah, see, we've had 2 measured legs down now. So I wouldn't be shocked now if we had some more movement up. Okay, excuse me, just for 1 minute. I'm just going to take a quick bathroom break. 1 minute. Okay. I expect to move up now. Oh, interesting. Wow. I didn't expect that. I think if that one gets hit, we might get a bit of a push. I bet there'll be some shorts in there.
Order submitted.
Now, I'm only on a sim anyway, so...
Order filled.
I know we should take it this one though, Sam. I just think that's going to trap some shorts there and push up again. Might be wrong. There is a leg down, one attempt to go higher, second attempt to go higher. It's gone a bit too far away from the EMA for me, so I think that's going to trap some shorts in there. One leg, two leg. Definitely going to trap some shorts, and then I think we're off on up then. Might even put it up there just for the fun of it. Obviously, I'm on a sim, so... but we've had... what looks... I don't know. You'll see. Should look at the bottom. Yeah. Wow. I'll tell you what then. That is a... What's it? I'm going to put that there because... that to me looks like a first leg up, second leg up. What's it? Did that just take you out, bud, did it? That pushes up here above great. If it takes that out, we've got a leg down, one attempt higher, second attempt higher, then I'd say we're coming down lower, so I'm going to put that there. I'm only on a sim. I wouldn't normally take this on a, what's it, on a PA count. Let's see if any penguin guys have taken this. Let's have a look. Oh, be shot, got leg down, one attempt to go high, second attempt to go high, push strongly through the EMA. So, I don't know, who knows. I just think that's too much of a bearish bar not to trap, really, I think, because we're sort of going up, aren't we? So that pushes above there, and, well, I'm guessing the stops will be there for that. Yeah, I've had me 2 winning trades today back here, so I'm just having to go at a sim. Leg. Yeah. It's interesting, this. Leg up. I think we're going to come down for another leg here, I think. If we get above there, great. Otherwise, I think we'll come down for another leg, which will bring us down to these lows. Which is why I'm going to put that there. And if we drop below there, I like the way it's closed above there. If we drop below that, for sure, I think we're coming down. And then I'm just going to hit it with a couple of shorts, because that looks like a leg down. And penguin style, we had a break. One attempt to go high, second attempt to go high, failure, because it pushed strongly through the MMA and triggered, and it's holding there. So if that comes down and stops this out, I think we're coming down. And if it breaks above there, there's going to be quite a few shorts in there, 2 legs up. If it breaks above, well, I think it'll be there where the stops are, then I think we'll go up then.
Stop. Order filled.
This is where we come down now. Yeah, I could see what happened there. I could see what was going on there, which is why I decided to buy as soon as that hit, because that's a leg down, 2 legs up, so I can see it's coming down here. Let's get out here, eh?
Target filled.
Yeah, I can see it coming out for the leg. One leg, two leg. But you can see what happens. It's definitely a penguin trade, that is. Leg down, one attempt to guy, second attempt. When that pushed strongly through the EMA, that was a penguin trade. My only slight issue with that is he will have wanted to get out there. He might not, because we had a leg down, two legs up, and then a failure. To be honest with you, the first trade I wouldn't have taken on a PA account. That one I would have done, but I'd have gone down to one contract on there because we went a little bit sideways. We hadn't made a new low. We had one attempt to go higher, came back down. A second attempt to high, pushed strongly through the EMA. That triggered there, and that might have just trapped some longs in there and then down. Yeah. I'm just be interested to see whether he takes that. But normally, see, he will want to be out before the lows. But what he might do is try and take that on a limit order, maybe here somewhere, and get out before the lows, which I think he just will have done. I got lucky to profit when it turned down, yeah. As soon as that turned down, pushed strongly, that was a failure, I think, which is why which is why I put me stop below there, and then as soon as that hit, I hit sell twice because I expected that to come down quite a bit, but he'd have put that there, I think. So he would have got that on a limit order, because when it triggered and when he went back, he'd have got that on a limit order. So I'm going to leave that there because I think he would have done something like that. Break, one attempt to go higher. Yeah, so I'd once we're sort of, there's a bit of congestion here, so I'd say there's a good chance we could get one a bit further down, but I think it's probably just going to turn into a bigger range day, isn't it? Once that failed there and dropped strongly, okay, let's have a look. Let's have a look. I don't know about that one. Failure breakout. As it moved down, we're so good. Yeah. See, after the two measured legs down, two pushes down, and once we push it up, that you think that would go, wouldn't you? But I think the fact that that dropped was a good indicator. We were going to come down. So I'd say there is some resistance around here a little bit. The reason I took long is that recognised pattern. Yeah, I agree with you, mate. Two legs down, starting to push up. I thought it was going to trap some shorts. See that bar there? Triggered and pushed up. You think that's it, up we go. And all of a sudden it went up and it dropped straight below the EMA. That's when the penguin guy talks about that it fails because it just drops quickly. But then when it triggers and starts to push up, you think, actually, are we going up? Be interesting to see if he takes that. But we have got a leg down clearly. One attempt to go high, second attempt to go failure. You know, obviously some of his trades loses, but I think the issue with that is he'd want to get out before those lows, so he'd take down the limit order, which worked. You know, it came right back up here. So if he took it maybe around the midline, somewhere around there, he's clearly out before the lows. 3.25 points there. See, so that's why I try to monitor these. It's why I turned around and quickly sold it on a what's it, because as soon as it stopped me out, I realised what was going on. That's when now obviously I wouldn't have normally done that on a PA, but I was basing that decision there to go short after that on the and when it broke below there, see, that's more or less when you were coming after that bar anyway. So I came in at about the same time, and then obviously it pushed down and clearly worked. So there is a possibility of a channel down, but I'd say for sure it's coming down for me. There is some congestion here, which is why it might be going a bit there, but once it gets below around about the bottom here, somewhere around about there, I would say, and I would expect it to come down some more, but that's the next bit, I would say, because there's almost like a what's it there, isn't there? Some sideways there. But I'd absolutely expect that to come down. So that daily, it's 1 minute, it's looking like, let me just drag the daily in. Obviously we had this downtrend, the overshoot, and then we've gone sideways, and all of a sudden we had that nice bullish bar there off the bottom. We sort of went once, twice, 3 times, pushed up, broke it above all this, and then come back a little bit, and it's sort of neutral now. So it's hard to say whether that's going to come down. See, after that overshoot, the push up, you maybe expect to come down a little bit before you go higher. Let's look at the 10,000 tick chart. Leg. So I would say leg and then another leg down, take us to about this area here where there's a bit of support. Okay, I think I'm going to knock it on the end to the, what time is it? It's 4:45 UK time. I've been going for 2 hours now. I've done me 2, I've had me 2, so I've moved on to the sim. So that's it, another week gone. Soon be Christmas. We're about, 2 weeks away from Christmas, just so there's probably about 2 more trading weeks, I'd say. But I'd say after next week, people are going to be winding down, so volume may drop a bit, I think. Yeah, you too, buddy. So have a great weekend, everyone. I'll be back here on Monday again as usual. So if you're carrying on trading, best of luck. I hope you get a set up. Failing that, I will see you all Monday. So appreciate the comments. Stay safe, and we'll see you on Monday. Bye for now.